Listen up, you lot. Today, we're diving headfirst into the vibrant world of Cambodian cuisine with a dish that will blow your minds. Nom Banh Jok. This ain't your average noodle soup. We're talking about a symphony of flavors and textures that'll have you licking the bowl clean. Nom Banh Jok is a beloved Cambodian breakfast staple, but don't let that fool you. It's hearty enough to satisfy any time of day. Picture this: a rich and savory pork broth, slurp-worthy rice noodles, tender slices of marinated pork, and a burst of fresh herbs and crunchy toppings. Are you drooling yet? Get ready to embark on a culinary adventure as I guide you through every step of mastering this Southeast Asian delight. Trust me, it's easier than you think, and the results are absolutely worth it. So, put on your aprons, grab your knives, and let's get cooking. Now, before we even think about turning on the stove, let's make sure we've got all our ducks in a row. Cooking is an art, and like any artist, you need to have your tools and materials ready before you start creating your masterpiece. Let's start by organizing our ingredients. A well-prepared kitchen is the first step to a successful dish. Here's your shopping list, and don't even think about skimping on the quality. High-quality ingredients make all the difference in the world. For the broth, you'll need pork bones for that deep, savory flavor. These bones are the foundation of our broth, providing richness and depth. Don't forget fish sauce, the magic ingredient that adds that unmistakable umami kick. It's like the secret weapon in your culinary arsenal. We'll also use salt, sugar, and a touch of white pepper to season everything to perfection. These simple seasonings elevate the flavors, making each bite a delight. For the noodles, we're using rice noodles, the kind specifically labeled for Nom Banh Jok. These noodles are essential for achieving the authentic texture and taste. They have a lovely, chewy texture that soaks up the broth like a dream. Properly prepared noodles are the heart of this dish. For the pork, we want tender, flavorful slices of pork loin. This cut of meat is perfect for absorbing the marinade and staying juicy during cooking. And we're going to marinate them with a blend of garlic, fish sauce, and sugar. This marinade infuses the pork with a balance of sweet and savory notes. Trust me, this is where the magic happens. The marinade not only flavors the pork, but also tenderizes it, making each bite melt in your mouth. For the toppings, no self-respecting bowl of Nom Banh Jok is complete without an array of fresh toppings. These add color, texture, and an extra layer of flavor. Think chopped green onions, cilantro, fried shallots, and a squeeze of lime juice for that final touch of brightness. These toppings bring the dish to life, adding freshness and a burst of flavor. Got everything? Good. Now let's get this show on the road. With all our ingredients and tools ready, we're set to create something truly special. Let's dive into the cooking process and bring this dish to life. The broth is the soul of Nom Banh Jok, so we're going to give it the attention it deserves. This is where all the magic happens, transforming simple ingredients into a rich, flavorful base that will elevate the entire dish. First, rinse the pork bones under cold water to remove any impurities. This step is crucial as it helps to ensure that our broth is clear and free from any unwanted particles. Then, chuck them into a large pot and cover them with water. Make sure the bones are fully submerged to extract all the goodness from them. Bring it to a boil over high heat, skimming off any scum that rises to the surface. This helps to keep the broth clean and clear, which is essential for a good Nom Banh Jok. Once the broth comes to a boil, reduce the heat to low and let it simmer for at least 2 hours, or even longer if you have the time. The slow simmering process allows the flavors to meld together beautifully. The longer it simmers, the richer and more flavorful it will be. Patience is key here, as a well-simmered broth can make all the difference. Just remember to keep an eye on the water level and add more if needed. You don't want the broth to reduce too much and become too concentrated. After 2 hours, strain the broth through a fine mesh sieve to remove the bones and any solids. This step ensures that our broth is smooth and free from any unwanted bits. Now it's time to season this bad boy. This is where we add the final touches to bring out the full depth of flavor. Add fish sauce, salt, sugar, and white pepper to taste. These ingredients will enhance the natural flavors of the broth and give it that signature taste. Remember, we're aiming for a balance of salty, sweet, and savory. Each spoonful should be a harmonious blend of these flavors. Taste as you go and adjust the seasonings accordingly. Don't be afraid to tweak it until it's just right. Once you're happy with the flavor, keep the broth warm on the stovetop while we move on to the noodles. This warm, flavorful broth will be the perfect companion to our noodles, creating a dish that's both comforting and delicious. Alright, you lot, let's talk noodles. Now, the key here is to follow the package instructions to the letter. Different brands may have slightly different cooking times, and we don't want any mushy noodles ruining our masterpiece. Generally, you'll want to soak the rice noodles in hot water for about 10 to 15 minutes, or until they're pliable but still have a bit of bite. Don't even think about overcooking them, or you'll end up with a gloopy mess. Once the noodles are cooked, drain them thoroughly and rinse them under cold water to stop the cooking process. This will also help to prevent them from sticking together. Set the noodles aside while we move on to the star of the show, the pork. Remember, noodles are like sponges. They'll soak up all that flavor from the broth, so we need to make sure they're cooked just right. Section 5. Pork-tastic prep marinating for maximum flavor. In this section, we're diving deep into the art of marinating, a crucial step that can elevate your pork dishes from good to absolutely mouth-watering. Whether you're a seasoned chef or a home cook, mastering the marinade is a game changer. For this recipe, we're using pork loin, but feel free to experiment with other cuts like pork belly or shoulder. Each cut brings its own unique texture and flavor profile, so don't be afraid to mix it up and find your favorite. Slice the pork thinly against the grain to ensure tenderness. This technique helps break down the muscle fibers, making each bite melt in your mouth. It's a small step that makes a big difference. And then it's time to work our marinade magic. The right combination of ingredients can transform your pork into a flavor-packed delight. In a bowl, combine minced garlic, fish sauce, and sugar. These ingredients are the foundation of our marinade, each bringing a unique element to the table. This trifecta of flavor will infuse the pork with a savory, slightly sweet, and utterly irresistible taste. The garlic adds a pungent kick, the fish sauce brings umami depth, and the sugar balances it all with a hint of sweetness. Add the sliced pork to the marinade and make sure every piece is coated evenly. This ensures that each slice absorbs the maximum amount of flavor. Now cover the bowl and let the pork marinate in the fridge for at least 30 minutes or even better, overnight. The longer it marinates, the more intense the flavors will be. This will give the flavors ample time to penetrate the meat, resulting in tender and flavorful slices that will have you coming back for more. Patience is key here, as the marinating process is where the magic truly happens. Remember, a good marinade is key to unlocking the full potential of your pork. It's not just about adding flavor, it's about enhancing the texture and juiciness of the meat. Don't rush this step, and your taste buds will thank you later. So take your time, let the flavors meld, and enjoy the delicious results of your marinating efforts. Section 6. Assembling your masterpiece, bringing it all together. Alright, you lot, it's time to assemble this culinary masterpiece. Get your bowls ready, because things are about to get messy in the best possible way. Start by dividing a generous portion of cooked noodles into each bowl. Next, ladle in that piping hot, flavor-packed broth, making sure to submerge the noodles completely. Now, for the piece de resistance, arrange a few slices of the marinated pork on top of the noodles, allowing them to cook through in the hot broth. Don't you dare even think about serving this dish without its crown jewels, the toppings. Section 7. Garnish galore, elevating your Nom Banh Jok to new heights. This is where your creativity can run wild. Sprinkle over a generous handful of chopped green onions and cilantro for a burst of freshness. Add a sprinkle of fried shallots for a satisfying crunch. And for a touch of acidity that will make all the flavors pop, squeeze a wedge of lime over each bowl. But wait, there's more. If you're feeling adventurous, try adding other toppings like sliced chilies for an extra kick, bean sprouts for added texture, or even a fried egg for extra richness. Remember, the toppings are your opportunity to personalize your Nom Banh Jok and make it your own. Section 8. Flavor finesse, tips and tricks for taste bud tantalization. Want to take your Nom Banh Jok to the next level? Here are a few chef's secrets to blow your mind. For a richer broth, roast the pork bones in the oven for 30 minutes before simmering them to enhance their flavor. For extra depth, add a piece of dried squid or a few dried shrimp to the broth while it simmers. For a touch of sweetness, some recipes call for adding a teaspoon of rock sugar to the broth. For a spicy kick, serve your Nom Banh Jok with a side of chili oil or sambal oelek. Remember, cooking is all about experimentation. Don't be afraid to adjust the flavors to your liking and make this recipe your own. Section 9. Bon appetit, savoring your Khmer culinary triumph. There you have it, you lot. A steaming bowl of Nom Banh Jok, bursting with flavor and ready to transport your taste buds straight to the heart of Cambodia. Now grab a spoon, find a comfy spot, and dig in. As you savor each slurp-worthy bite, remember that you've just conquered a culinary masterpiece. And the best part? You can recreate this dish anytime you want, impressing your friends and family with your newfound culinary prowess. So go on, give yourself a pat on the back. You've earned it. And next time you're looking for an adventure in the kitchen, you know where to find me. Bon appetit!